Okay, this is part 6 of my video series on Mount Meru, Mercator's map, and Atlantis and Avalon and you name it. Okay, in my previous videos I've put forward this image of Borobudur. Okay, so previously I've made a connection between this image and images depicting Atlantis and Avalon. This being Mount Meru, and these rings representing Atlantis and potentially Avalon. I've put forward the conclusion that Mount Meru is a magnetic mountain upon which a castle or city of the gods was once there, and I found some more images that I want to show you. Now, here's another image of Ogier the Dane. In one of my previous videos I've made reference to a story about him being at Avalon, and I put forward this picture of his shield, and it's my conclusion that this represents Mount Meru and the rings representing Atlantis or Avalon. This is in my opinion, this is a map of Avalon, which looks remarkably the same as Mount Meru. Obviously people have, visiting this part of the planet at different timelines, and presumably, depending on the sea level, seeing different aspects of the area. Sometimes it's 3 rings, sometimes it's 2 rings, perhaps the 3rd ring's underwater. It's hard to know. Here's a slightly different picture. I'll zoom in on the shield. Now, I came across this image not long ago. It's a Tibetan painting of a place called Shambhala. Now, if you ask me, that looks remarkably the same as Atlantis and Avalon and Mount Meru. Now you compare that to, now I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right, it's from Norse mythology. This is the what's called Yggdrasil. Okay, notice you got the mountains in a ring around here, you got a snake in another ring, rivers leading up to a mountain with the world tree. I think all these images are depicting the same place. Okay, so take note of the snake around the island. Now, this is another image of Mount Meru, and I didn't notice it until I put all these images together and started looking at them. But have a look at that. There's a snake surrounding what appears to be a mountain. Okay, and I think what you have here is an exploded view of what that mountain is. So that's the main point of interest, and this here is the exploded view of what that is. So it's a map with an exploded view on it. Okay. Now, in one of my previous videos I've put forward this image. This is a typical image depiction of Atlantis, and I made comment that wouldn't it make sense that there was a mountain in the middle of this? Well, I found evidence that this image is not entirely 100% right. Okay, so one of my subscribers made a comment on one of my videos saying it was mentioned in a book called Critias or something. I'd never heard of it, and I looked it up, and sure enough there's a description of Atlantis in there, and so I'm not sure if that subscriber was referring to that or not, but I'll read it out. There's a very short description of Atlantis there. Okay, I downloaded this book here. It's called Critias by Plato, translated by Benjamin Jowett, okay? So I just want to read out it's a very short bit. He's just describing the island of Atlantis, okay? And he says, near the plain again, and also in the centre of the island, at a distance of about 50 stadia, there was a mountain not very high on any side. Okay, so the evidence tells us that there should be a small mountain here, so I'm not really sure what this is representing here. The image is not very clear, but it would appear the other Atlantis map is quite accurate. This map here, where it's showing a mountain in the middle, which I've shown before, it's an old map of Atlantis. It would appear this mountain here is an accurate description of what Atlantis looks like. Now, I wasn't sure what to make of this. This is an image of King Arthur's Round Table, and I couldn't help but notice the similarities between Mount Meru and the design of the Round Table. You've got the rings, you've got the centerpiece here, and whoever this is, King in the middle. Again, another image of King Arthur's Round Table. So do you think this chalice, or whatever this is a representation of the magnetic mountain on the Mercator map? I'll leave that up to you. Well, all the evidence is pointing to this magnetic rock being Mount Meru. The magnetic rock, the magnetic lodestone as described in the story of Ogre the Dane. All the evidence is pointing to this being Atlantis. It is Shambhala. It is Avalon. It is the place of spiritual enlightenment. It is the city of the gods.